get started. Get everybody sat down here. First off, I want to say thank you to everybody that come out on last month's ride. It was quite a turnout. 61 machines. That's a record since I've been with the club. I remember the days of having 5 machines was you had 10, that was a big ride. So to have 61 machines, that was really, really impressive. And I hope everybody enjoyed the ride. Unfortunately, with that many machines, it takes a little longer to get where you're going and back. Had a couple breakdowns, so we ended up cutting about 10 miles of the ride off. It was a very beautiful part of the ride, but sometimes you kind of have to adapt. How many people are going down to Kanab or to Sandhide? Okay, awesome. I planned out some pretty good rides down there. Both days should be right around 70 to 75 miles. All the roads there are going to be plenty wide enough for the widest machines that we have, so don't worry about not being able to do the trails. If we get down there, there are a couple 50-inch trails. If there's enough 50-inch machines, then I might break off a group and take them on the 50-inch trail and meet back up with the main group later, but we'll just see how that goes. If you're not camped at the Temple Hill RV lot, which is where most of us are going to be, you can park. You can park at the fairgrounds there. I don't know the exact address. You can look it up. They allow you to park overnight parking there. People park there and go right town to town up on the Caribbean. So you can park there at the fairgrounds. Just meet us over at the Temple Hill RV lot at 10 in the morning, ready to go. One thing we've kind of had an issue with lately, people showing up late for the ride. That's part of what got us out of Current Creek so late, was people showing up right at 10 o'clock, and it's like, we're all ready to go. That's not fair for the people that have showed up at 8:30 or 9 o'clock to be ready to go, and then we're waiting for everybody else, so we cut the ride short. So please be there at 10 o'clock ready to ride. Your machines, all your gear's on your machine. You shouldn't have to have extra fuel for that ride. 70 miles, most any machine should be able to do it. I always carry extra fuel on mine if somebody does, by chance need it. So yeah, like I said, if you're not camping there at the RV lot, you can come down for the day, just park at the fairgrounds there, and you can drive over and meet us. Friday's ride, we're gonna head up Manti Canyon, go up Skyline Drive, and then we're gonna drop down to Joe's Valley Reservoir, and from there we'll work our way back up and around. There is one 50-inch trail there, Reeder Trail. Goes up through there, so again, if we have enough 50-inch machines to make it worth doing it, I might break the separate group off, and then we'll just meet back from there, or it takes you back up to Skyline Drive. So, on Saturday's ride, we're going to head over, we're going to go over to Sterling by Palisades State Park and go up 6 Mile Canyon, go up over the top, drop over, and then come back up around Fair Reservoir, Death Fox Reservoir there. So both of them are very beautiful rides. Again, all the trails are plenty wide enough for everybody. so that won't be an issue at all. Bill?
If it's not hailing this time, can we stop at the sign and take some pictures?
Yeah, we'll make plenty of stops.
Cool.
You know, last month's ride was 61 machines. I don't stop a lot because every time I stop turns into a 45-minute stop. You know, I mean, not just because people are so spread out, but as soon as I stop, the first ones behind me are unloading and getting snacks and drinks and stuff out, and it's like, no, I'm just trying to gather up the group, please, you know. So yeah, that's the reason why last month's ride didn't have a lot of stops. I just can't. Yeah, we're going to cover that much territory. We did it about 87, 90 miles. Yeah, with 61 machines, that's a full day. Yeah. Well, usually if I'm getting out of my machine, it's going to be at least a 15-minute break. But, again, we got 61 machines. By the time the tail gunner, in fact, our first stop, when we had the first broke down machine, my tail gunner never even got to us before we had to take off again because we were blocking the road. And we were there for well over a half hour, 40 minutes. So, yeah, when you got 61 machines, they don't make a lot of stops because, like I said, no matter what happens, it's a 45-minute stop. So, I apologize for that. We're looking at different ways to change that up if we have that many machines again. Maybe have to split the group and go in two separate groups. It's a problem we've never had before. So, no. Yeah. No, we'll do that. It's a good suggestion. And then Saturday night, when we get back to camp, back to town, and that we will do the barbecue there at the RV lot. So, if you have a side dish you want to share, club will supply the hamburgers, hot dogs, and drinks as usual. So, the Hills for Heroes event that we've done the last 2 years has officially been canceled for this year. Part of it is because the state of Utah has told Utah State Parks they can't be involved in any sort of jamboree or anything like that this year, because of our current conditions, situations, and that. So we'll table it for next year, and hopefully we'll get a good start, and have a good turnout next year. Hopefully things will be more settled down. The Ride for Life is coming up August 15th and 16th. Right now we are currently going forward with it. We've been given approval by Tooele County and Nevada, the hotel in Nevada. We will have their standard protocols, face mask when you can, social distance, can sanitizer stations, gloves, anybody handling food will be wearing gloves, face masks and such. So, but we're really running behind on it, and we are definitely in need of riders this year. Our numbers are way down from what they normally. And again, the last 2 weeks of July, we always get a rush of applications come in, but we're down probably 30 or 40 from what we normally are at this time. So, you know anybody that rides? Badger them, say, come on, it's a good cause. you know, Make-A-Wish, they're really in, you know, hard times right now because almost all of their fundraisers have been canceled this year. So they're very, you know, they're very happy to know that we are moving forward with ours. You know, they've been put in a situation where, you know, they granted wishes to kids that were supposed to travel to Hawaii or overseas somewhere. They've had to put all that on hold. They have a travel ban for 18 months. So now they're having to go back and re-grant these wishes to these kids that had already been, you know, that was their wish. So they do. So they do need our help, and you know, kids. It's all about the kids. So, you know, anybody, you know, let them know. Hey, come do the right. You know, we have a lot of great prizes as usual that we'll be doing. You know, the raffle on Sunday morning out there. You can feel free to share the information to any groups out there. You know, I mean, we encourage. That's how we get the. That's how we get the word out is by people sharing. You know, we do our best to get flyers into dealerships and things like that. The aftermarket companies, rollover, combustion, you know, we try to get flyers in there so people know. But our biggest thing is for people to share it with other people. I will be sharing it on the Utah Off-Road page, and probably I've got to talk to Buzz at UTV Utah. He usually allows me to put it on there, but I kind of have to check with him first. They're a little funny that way. Yeah, so, you know, feel free to share it, you know, put it on your own page, share it out there to your own friends and stuff. Anywhere we share it, you know, if we get 2 or 3 riders out of it, that's a plus. We were hoping to have a representative of foresters here tonight. They're planning on. I just found out about this. They are planning on building up American Fork Canyon up by Tibblefort. Going to build a parking lot for ATVs only. They've had a lot of issues with people with ATV trailers parking up in the Horsemen's. So they're looking at doing another parking lot that is strictly for ATV, you know, trucks and trailers there. So I was hoping he would be here tonight to talk about it. Again, it's going to be a grant situation where they apply for the grant, we help them out with labor hours for matching funds and that. But I'm pretty excited to hear that they're looking at doing that, because their parking is very woefully short. So it'll be a really good thing to do. As far as the ride this weekend, I don't know who it was. I think it was you, Lance, that asked if I was going to put out GPX tracks. No, I'm not going to do that, but any of you that have the Avenza Maps app on your phone or a tablet, you can go to the map store in there and you can download the Arapeen Trails map and have it right there. That's what I'll be running on my tablet when I'm there. I also have my normal GPS, but I will be running that Avanza Maps app. It's a really nice map. It's pretty much identical to the one the paper map that they sell. So it works tremendous that way. Also, on the Ride for Life donations, prize donations, cash donations. If you're planning on coming on the ride, get some cash donations if you can. That's where our main money comes in is by riders going out and getting donations from people to bring in. So, put it on you got a Facebook page, put it out there to your friends and family. If you get $10 from each one, it all adds up. We had a couple of young ladies that decided to do a bake sale this weekend. They raised $1,000. They had people pulling up and just stop and give them, 50 or $100 and not even want any of the cookies or anything they were selling. I said, no, this is for Make-A-Wish, here, take it. So, there's a lot of creative things that people can do. A couple of things as far as upcoming legislation for the year. I can't remember whether I mentioned the one last month or not. They are going to run a bill that does away with the age requirement for youth on ATVs on public lands. To me, it's been kind of foolish. We got kids out there racing motocross on, at 4 and 5 years old, yet they can't ride their machine on public land legally. So that will be one of the bills. Representative Carl Albrecht from Southern Utah is going to be running that. There will be no restriction as far as CCs, per age. The restrictions will be that the child has to be able to, while sitting on the seat, simultaneously touch all foot and hand controls without standing up. So that way the machine fits them. You might have one kid that's 7 years old and can barely fit on a 50, and another one, he's a little taller and stuff, he could ride a 125. It puts the onus upon the parents, and that's who it should be. It shouldn't be on anybody else to make that decision. Another bill that is going to be run, search and rescue in our state is pretty much all self-funded. And we're trying to raise a little money for them. When you get your registration for your cars and stuff, there's always the little check boxes there. Would you like for sight or, for different things. And one of them has been, would you donate $2 for OHV education? Well, with the FIG grants, with HB 143, we have enough money to pay for the OHV education part of that. But we're going to do away with that check box. We're going to put the check box there. Would you like to donate money for search and rescue? And then that'll be divvied out to all the different search and rescue units across the state. You guys know, you buy all your own gear, your own, we always donate water to them after the Ride for Life, whatever water we have left over, so they have water for the year. But it's just hard. Some of these smaller communities and that, they don't have the resources that the bigger cities do and that. So this will help them. And you get down a place like, out on the Paiute Trail, you get hurt out there, it may be 8 hours before you see help, or, some of these places down in the swell, you might be sitting there a long, long time. I can tell you from personal experience, and we weren't that far away, of about a 2.5-hour wait on the side of the mountain waiting for a helicopter to come in. So getting the search and rescue people funded and being able to have the equipment that they need so they can get and respond faster and stuff and be better prepared is a boon for them. Another thing that we're going to be doing for search and rescue, and it'll be done through the clubs across the state, but we're going to put together a first aid training seminar, basically a outdoors type of first aid, that people, it's going to be funded through the grant system, again through HB 143, but the local search and rescue, and this is only for motorized people. This is, it's only for motorized groups. It's not for the hikers and the mountain bikers. They can fund their own stuff. HB 143 is strictly for motorized use only, so when we do these classes, that's why it's going to be done through the clubs and that. But we're going to reach, we'll reach out to the local search and rescue and have them actually put on the class for the clubs. And then what we're looking at is trying to give them a $1,000 donation to help them. Again, just, we want to help our search and rescue people out because they do a lot with very little. So those are a few things that are coming up in the legislation and other things that we've got going on this year. Anybody have any questions on this month's ride or anything? Locations, everybody's good? Okay, she asked me to go over the future rides that we have coming up. Of course, August is the Ride for Life, which is the 15th and the 16th. And one of the things this year with the Ride for Life, we have Cumulus Media on board, that they have K-Bear cable, 94.9, 98.7, and then an AM channel that they're running ads for us. They're, from my understanding, they plan on being out there at Deseret Peaks on Friday night, and then again Saturday during the ride. So that's a big plus for us. Hopefully that'll help drive some. So August ride is 15th and 16th, the Ride for Life. September 19th was actually supposed to be riding out of Farron, that we decided, the board decided a month ago that we were going to revamp some rides because a lot of people were really excited for the Moab ride, and it got shut down 2 days before, so we kind of rescheduled from what we had. So September 19th is going to be Hardware Ranch. October 16th and 17th is Tickaboo. And then November 13th and 14th will be Moab. I will try in the next, I'm not going to get it done this week. I know I'm not even going to make that promise. So by next week, I'll try to have all these events created, the details of where we'll be staging from and that. Tickaboo is, well, I can tell you where we're staging from for the Hardware Ranch. We'll stage right out of the parking lot there at Hardware Ranch. And then Tickaboo will be staging out in the lodge there in Tickaboo both days. No, I have a block. There's 24. I had a block on 25. I took the first one, so there was 24 available. If you have not, I just need your name and saying that you want one of the rooms. Then I'll put your name on the room. Then you can just get it when you're down there and just handle it there. So and Moab, originally we were going to stage out of there by Courthouse Rock, Courthouse Campground there. I might change that. I don't know. I gotta look and try to go over the rides again and see if there's maybe some better options for us, but if not, yeah, that'll be, because I originally I planned on us doing 7 Mile Rim, and then on one day we'd go over and do Gemini Bridges area, but I'll look and see if maybe there's some other options that are maybe a little bit better for us, but so. Well, there's pins and things in Hell's Revenge and that. But kind of the issue that we have when we do those rides, you know, like for me, I'm in a toy hauler. I mean, my machine's street legal, so it doesn't really matter, but not everybody is street legal. And if you're down there camping and you're a toy hauler, you don't have an option. So that's why I want to kind of look things over a little bit. I know some friends of mine, they go and they camp. There's another campground on the south end of town, and there's some other trails that you can hit right out of there. So I'll look it over, you know, see if that's a better option. You know, I want everybody to have a good time, but I don't want it to be a pain in the backside for everybody. You know, we staged out of Courthouse Rock a couple of years ago, and it worked out pretty good. But one of the trails we're doing now will be one of the same ones we did then, so I kind of don't like to duplicate things that quick, but if we do, we do. Yeah, 7 Mile Rim has Uranium Arch, you go up around, what is it, the Monitor, Merrimack, around there. There's a few other trails in there that you can kind of hook onto, Twisher Tunnel, things like that. So again, I'll look over the Moab area and see if there's better options for places to stage out of, better trails. But as far as, you know, the Tickaboo, you know, that one we're staying in the lodge, so we will trailer, at least one day we will trailer to a trailhead. There's some things in the works. If one of the trails, there's a trail down there that's been, it's not been off limits, but they had a big rock slide that closed it down, and it's been closed down. You could do it on a motorcycle, but an ATV couldn't make it through. Garfield County, we actually had a project scheduled about 6 years ago to go down and repair this trail, and it got shut down because of SUA. Well, Garfield County has taken it upon themselves that they're going to get it fixed. So I'm not going to mention the trail, because if SUA happens to hear, they'll try to shut us down again. So, but hopefully if that trail gets fixed, that's going to be awesome. We can go do that one. But So, yeah, you know, Tickaboo will definitely be trailering one day. But again, that one I'm staying in the hotel, so it's not a big deal to trailer 20 or 30 miles. And the hardware ranch, you know, staging right out of the parking lot there is good. If you camp up the road, you can ride right down to the staging area. So those are our last, you know, 4 rides for the year. Hopefully things stay on track where we can keep them going. I don't see us getting shut down on it. I mean, you never know. I got an email today. I'm a member of the Utah Arizona Club, and I got an email today from them. They've shut down all activities until further notice because of the COVID. I kind of think they're making a mistake, but that's their decision and not mine. Everybody's getting their radios programmed and such. So there's still some little bit of issues with radios and getting connections and things like that. But hopefully we're getting them more and more where they're working properly. You know, we can communicate a little bit better. We were having some issues of reaching the back of the pack on the last ride, but we were able to get somebody in the middle that was the relay back and forth. So that was when we had the machine that broke down all the way back to Upper Stillwater and had to be towed clear into Hannah, about 25 miles. So yeah, you know, by the time I found out that, that there was a broke down machine, we were 30 miles away from it. So yeah, we had to relay. So we're still working on getting the radios where we can communicate a little bit better, but they are getting better than what they used to be for us. But they are a very good tool too. So one thing that we have noticed with the radios, when you speak into your radio, talk a little bit slower and enunciate very clearly, because some people talk and you can hear everything they're saying is clearer than others are.
When you talk to your radio, talk across the mic, talk across the radio, not directly into it.
Russ says when you're talking,
it'll pops and it's.
He says to talk across the radio rather than directly into it. That way you don't get the hissing from your breath and stuff going on.
So back to the organization today, are you guys going to be able to do the program in bed, or today was the last day?
At the ride?
No, the radio. I forgot to bring mine.
No, are you asking can we program them at the ride?
Correct, yes.
Randy, are you going to be on the ride?
Nope.
No, but if you want to, if you can bring your radio to my house, I'll get it to Randy and get it programmed, and I'll bring it down with me if you want. Okay? Oh, so.
Does mine stay programmed from a year ago? Right?
Yeah, yours is programmed with the old channels. For those of you that don't know, we used to run the FRS channels. The FCC cracked down on people using those channels. They're limited to a 1-watt radio. So we had to revamp our program list. So we've changed it. So if anybody has the old program, yeah, we'll need to program it. But yeah, get it to me, and then I'll get it programmed. Or Mike said he'll have his stuff down there. So if you need to program it there, we'll get it taken care of. And we do have a list with the frequency numbers. We can manually enter you in if need be over there, just to get you by. So, anybody have any comments or concerns on our rides that haven't been brought up? You know, we do the best that we can, but it's really nice to have some feedback from you guys, so we know what we can do better for you to enjoy the rides better.
How about a 10-minute warning before we leave?
10-minute wash?
For me, 10-minute warning.
10-minute warning? I try to do.
Leave it when we're resting.
I try to do a 2-minute or 5-minute call, but it's amazing. The last ride, we were stopped at lunch there in Hannon, and I come out and I yelled, "Hey, 2-minute call," and everybody just sat around and continued to eat, talk, and chit chat, and that. It wasn't until I got on my machine and started up the road that everybody's like, "Oh, we're leaving." So, yeah, I try to give the warnings, and I'll try to give a better warning. You know, I know I don't talk loud until when I do talk loud, you don't want to be around me, because that means I'm not in a very good mood. So, I will try to do a better job of that. I do try to make, you know, frequent stops for bathroom breaks and things like that whenever it's possible. Anybody else, anything?
I just want to thank the AV Association for the strawberries that we need for my recent surgery. They were good.
John, he did our last ride with us because right after, what was that, 2-3 days after you had your, yeah, he had total shoulder reconstruction, replacement. So he's out of commission for a while, but the club sent him a gift basket of edible strawberries and stuff, so edible gift basket. So now, hope you're glad to know you're doing good. Hope it gets better. Yep, follow the doctor's orders or you'll be hating life.
I don't know if they were ready for the rock calling part of the
Yeah. You know, that's always a tough thing to do. When I plan a ride, I try to plan it to the skill level of the least skilled person that we have. But at the same time, I got more skilled riders that want to, you know, number one, I want to push people just a little bit, let them push their boundaries. I'm not going to put them in any situation that's going to be dangerous. Never going to do that. If anybody, and I tell people constantly, if you come to a situation, a spot on the trail you're not comfortable with, I will take your machine through for you. I will. And we had several people that were very new that had issues with, you know, some of the rocks we were crawling over, and I understood that. And unfortunately, I was traveling a little bit faster than I normally do because we had 61 machines. They've done studies and showed that for every rider behind the leader, they drop, what is it, Ty, a half a mile an hour, 1 mile an hour? So if I'm doing 25, the tail gunner's parked with 60 machines. So I'm moving a little bit faster on that ride than I normally do just because I know people are going to be strung out And
How you do that? I think some of the people, think they don't understand that to be, I don't know.
no, we, yeah. And again, I try to, you know, plan a ride that anybody can do, but I do, you know, but there are going to be situations like that where and it's not like it was terrible, it's just, it was a rocky trail. You know, and so, yeah, you kind of have to adapt to it. When we're on those kind, I try not to go too fast, but again, the last ride, because of that amount of machines, we had to, you know, I had to push the pace just a little bit to get us there and back. As it was, I believe, 7:30 when we got back to the staging area. So, oh no, I understand. You know, and the other thing too, you know, the way we do our rides and that, where we drop somebody at the turns, so, you know, you don't have to ride in somebody's dust, but you do need to try to keep them in sight, keep them in rifle distance, as I like to say, because there's times when I will pull up to a turn and I will wait literally 10 to 15 minutes before that next person gets to me. You know, at that point I know I'm usually maybe traveling too fast, and so I'll slow down a little bit. But sometimes, you know, people do need to pick up that pace just a little bit. You know, you don't have to ride in the dust, but you can keep them, you know, keep her within reason. The other issue that we do have, we had, you know, on a couple of rides now, there are some people that like to hang back with the tail gunners and just ride in the back. So what we've had happen on a couple of instances, I come up and I drop a person at the turn, and they guide everybody through, and then the people that are hanging in the back with the tail gunner, they approach him and they wave, and the person goes on. The tail gunner doesn't know which way to turn. So if you're hanging back with the tail gunner, let him be the one to signal that person to move on, because otherwise, now I'm having to backtrack and find my tail gunner. Bad John. Bad John. So yeah, you know, those are some situations that we've had happen recently, and you know, we do have a lot of new members, a lot of new people that are just barely brought machines. They're new to the sport. We kind of have to help them through teaching. That's what being part of the club is about, is teaching them the proper things, the proper techniques. George, you had something to say a minute ago.
Oh yeah, just leaving through of what you're saying, that you accommodate to everybody. I think you're very newbie to the sport and to the group. And then, I think it was a first ride to a mountain, and I was
Jordan.
a machine behind me, and I was afraid to go in when everybody else was. And he took my machine, he did it, and he made me feel comfortable, did not make me feel stupid. He was very nice, and we was able to finish the ride.
When George first started riding with the club, he had an accident not too long prior to riding with us, so he was a little iffy on some things, and big hills kind of terrified him a little bit. And you know, we were doing a ride out at Cherry Creek, and there was a pretty big steep hill there, and I got him right behind me, and I said, just, here's what I want you to do. Put your machine for low, and just stay steady on the throttle, stay right behind me. And he followed me right up, and he was great. He was happy. He's like, he was proud of himself for doing it. That's what I want. Ultimately, I want the individual to be able to take their own machine through. But if they're ever that terrified that something, you know, no, by all means, let me take it through for you, because if you're so terrified that you walk up at the wrong point, that could be a disaster. I think there was one, on the Devil's Racetrack, there was a section I took his machine through for him. I would rather take your machine through than see somebody get hurt. Bottom line. And there's multiple people here that would do the same thing for you. And I mean, if you're not close to me, there's plenty of other people that are willing to do that for you. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to go out, have a good time, see some beautiful scenery, and come back safe.
Don't forget, tail grinders will still take your machines through. Bill's jumped off a couple times and taken a couple
Yeah.
through. So
Yeah, you know, if you're so far behind me that I can't help you, wait for the tail gunner to show up because they'll come up and get you. Or, you know, like I said, any other member that's got abilities that's willing to help. That's what we're all here for. Help each other out and just have fun. So.
And I think this is probably just getting worse because I've talked to previous dealers who have sold machines, people who have never been on ATV and motorcycles, they never been in the legal school, but I think they're just because of what
Yeah.
going on, they're buying this and go out and so
Yeah.
they have no clue what.
No, what Ray was saying is we're going to have more of this. We're going to have more people that have zero experience. The part of the economy that has not shut down has been ATV and side-by-side sales and RV sales. Because for the first time in people's lives, a lot of people, you know, have kids that are in Little League baseball and soccer and this and dance and this and that. You know, they have never had time to go do what we do. Well, now they got nothing but time because that's all been shut down. So they're going out and they're buying machines. They've never been on one before, you know? And so, yeah, we're going to run into that more and more where we have people with zero experience. And it's up to us to help them and teach them. And you know, ultimately, like I said, we want them to have a positive experience out of it. I mean, it's so enjoyable to go out on a nice ride the trails, see some beautiful scenery, maybe some animals, you know. It's great. Get away from all the crap that's going on, you know, and it's very relieving to do these rides. So, you know, we just need to be willing to help everybody, and I'm always willing to help. And I wanted to do this a couple years ago, but maybe we need to look at taking a day, and I could probably work this out with state parks and go out to the Jordan River OHV Park and just spend a day with new people and their new machines and teach them, you know, show them how far you can lean an ATV before it rolls over. People get so scared as soon as they get a little bit off camber, they walk up, and it's like, you know what? I can take that machine clear up like this, but then it's going to be fine. You just got to learn to position your body correctly in that. So, Karen, do we have a room raffle? Okay, we have two raffles here. When you come, for paid members, when you come and you sign the roll, when you come in, twice a year we give $50 out to the members. So each time you show up to a meeting and sign that roll, you get one entry into the Karen says, please write legibly so she can tell who it is. Pick one, John. Quit dropping yours in there, John.
Now, John.
My God, we got to pick another one. Jaturkas. We did away with that rule a few years ago.
I'll take it to him because I've got other stuff to take to him.
Thank you for your
Okay, the room raffle for a set of flyer set. Ticket number is 821786. Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Good job. You have to bring the gift thing, huh? For the room raffle. Well, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We'll see y'all down in Manti hopefully, and we'll have a good ride. So be safe going home.